County 911.
My son was supposed to be home at 6 o'clock, and it's almost 7. He's only 11.
Okay. What's his name?
Gannon.
This is the exact moment when 36-year-old Letitia realizes that cops have finally discovered her horrifying secret. Her life was about to change forever.
He had one of the guns. So terrified. And then he just knocked me down and like towards Gannon's room. And he was hitting on me. It was like hard, like on the ground.
In the early morning of January 27th, Letitia contacted her supervisors at Whitefield School District 3, informing them that she would not be coming to work. She claimed her stepfather had passed away in a hit-and-run accident, and she needed to handle the situation. Several hours later, at 9:56 a.m., Letitia sent another message, this time saying that her stepson, Gannon, was unwell, and she would need to stay home to care for him. But just 20 minutes later, a neighbor's security camera captured Letitia and Gannon leaving their home in a red Nissan Frontier. Instead of taking Gannon to a doctor, Letitia was seen visiting a Petco store on Nevada Avenue. By around 2 p.m., the two had returned home. However, something about their return didn't seem right. Letitia had bought cleaning supplies shortly afterward, and she parked her car by reversing fully into the driveway, something friends and family said she never usually did. At this point, one thing was clear. The last person known to be with Gannon was his stepmother. And strangely, it wasn't until 7 p.m., 5 hours after they returned, that Letitia reported Gannon missing. After receiving the 911 call, officers quickly arrived at Letitia's home. Their goal was to collect any information they could, because with each passing second, the chances of finding Gannon grew slimmer.
Did he take his bike?
No.
Okay, because somebody saw a little kid on a bike. They posted it, but I didn't know if he brought it.
Well, he did, unless he took it sooner and brought it back, because Lena ends up getting the bike.
What color's the bike?
Dinner.
Okay.
Blue
And he never
and black.
went home. They thought he was at his friend's house. He was like,
Yeah. There's
And he never
one
went to his
picture
friend's
someone
house.
said he was on,
Okay.
and he was taking the switch.
For someone who had just reported her stepson missing, Letitia appeared unusually calm. What raised even more concern was her first explanation. She claimed Gannon had gone to visit a friend. But that couldn't be true. Security footage confirmed Gannon never left the house after returning earlier that day. Clearly, something wasn't right. Yet, at that moment, the officers treated Letitia as nothing more than a worried parent and continued their search inside the home.
Okay, because you weren't in here in the beginning, right? I didn't know if I had that box cutter and all that stuff in there, because I told him about he dropped the candle last night.
Oh, okay.
And I thought I must have picked it up. I was just making sure. I didn't want you to be like, oh, just a box cutter. But yeah, I had to cut this. And I told them I wasn't even going to tell Dad. And I was going to figure out a way to put this in there from the situation. But
at least you got a carpet. Yeah,
right. I just took it and covered up with the carpet and stuff like that. But
Does he have any friends around here?
there is let me look on this thing. He did have this one book thing.
That's where you're supposed to be at down the road.
But they checked that already?
They went over there and talked to him, and they're like, no, we hadn't seen him at all.
Oh, okay.
He did have this
And you talked to parents, right? You didn't talk to...
Yeah, Connor's mom came over, who is a friend he hangs out with all the time. So they come over. The people here, the friends, they were just the ones that were at the door with the bike.
Okay.
They came over. A bunch of people came over.
It's important to note that the officers had not yet completed a full search of the house. Only a quick, surface-level check had been done. Yet, strangely, Letitia appeared determined to keep them confined to just 2 areas: the living room, where a section of carpet appeared to be burned, and Gannon's bedroom. Her behavior grew more suspicious as she continued to guide and restrict the officers' movements, making sure they didn't explore the rest of the house.
Forgets to bring this or bring that or bring this or bring that. You know?
Still good.
Yeah.
So no clothes are missing or nothing?
No, we actually lay out all the clothes all the time. For, every day at school, we lay out clothes, we do whatever.
Is his jacket gone?
he had he has several jackets. Like it depends on, I'm very like fashion. So like, it just depends on jackets. Like he might have this black one with this, or there's a blue one with this.
So he had a jacket.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Several jackets. Like, I mean, you see the kid has, like tons and tons of clothes, and he just,
Okay.
he has all that stuff. So
There was a weird text that Dad got about something about
90
bath
pounds,
salts. And hey, if you
And then I
if
sent
I
you that
can get some
picture
bath
that-
salts, do we have any bath salts?
Yeah, I
And my
got
friend
it.
will let me play Sonic or
that's
something at their house.
He sent that to his dad.
Yeah,
I got it.
and then Mom goes through everything, finds this part. Yeah.
This was the moment officers began to suspect that Letitia might be hiding something. She suddenly closed a door leading to the basement, raising questions about what she didn't want them to see. Her behavior, choice of words, and repeated attempts to distract officers from certain parts of the house did not go unnoticed. As a result, investigators later examined her electronic devices. What they found was deeply disturbing. A video recorded on Sunday, January 26th, just one day before Gannon was reported missing.
Gannon, I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose?
He did it.
Okay, you promise. He promised. On purpose. Pinky promise. Pinky. Okay, alright, so, listen, we're going to have to sell stuff to fix it. So, we figure out what we got to sell. We can sell the sofa, because we got to get it fixed, so lady, don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay?
The video found on Letitia's phone showed Gannon after he had apparently dropped a candle, which left a burn mark on the carpet. However, what the video failed to show was far more troubling. Gannon had also suffered burn injuries on his arms. Instead of helping him or seeking medical attention, Letitia could be heard scolding him harshly. During the same phone analysis, officers also uncovered a recorded call between Letitia and her husband, Albert Stauch, in which she informed him about the incident. Although the phone call was deeply emotional, the injuries described by Gannon suggest second-degree burns. He mentioned a freezing sensation, and there were visible blisters. The details of Letitia's story weren't adding up, and so far, everything pointed to her in a concerning way. Still, investigators needed clear facts. Since Gannon disappeared shortly after the candle incident, officers had to find out exactly what happened. That's why, on January 30th, 3 days after Gannon was reported missing, Letitia was brought in for an official interview. Detectives hoped to better understand the events leading up to his disappearance.
So Gannon had started a candle. Again, normal day. He's very responsible in terms of if you give him something and say, do this, and this, like a list to prepare, he's fine. So we let him, do things like that. So I didn't see a problem with him, light a candle, whatever. And Lena asked me, could she stay up and still watch the rest of her iPad or whatever. It was just her birthday, and I was trying to give her a little bit extra because we went all out for Gannon's birthday. Like, we took him to a Rockies game. We took friends with him. So it starts beeping. It's like a beep, 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 beep. And I thought that someone was coming in the house. I didn't see anything going on. Then it started saying fire, 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 fire. So there was smoke coming up through the basement. So then I ran back downstairs to get Gannon. And then the fire was on the floor over here, then on the sofa. So I'm pretending this is the sofa and this is our floor. So it was right here and right here. And I saw the candle that was over here. So there was covers everywhere because the kids always get on them about, they leave a lot of covers laying around all the time. I take a whole bunch of them and I go and like basically smash down on the sofa and the fire to put it out. So I got a burn, and then I was like, get up again, and started running at that point because it wakes him up. He's alert. He's realizing that the covers and everything's on fire, the carpet's on fire, and we all go outside.
According to Letitia, the entire situation was the result of a freak accident. She claimed Gannon had accidentally knocked over a candle, which caused a small fire on the basement carpet. This matched the same damaged piece of carpet she had previously pointed out to officers. But something about that story didn't sit right. Second-degree burns on both arms from a single candle spill seemed unlikely, if not impossible. A slow-burning flame like that would have given Gannon time to react or move away. He was old enough to understand the danger. What raised even more suspicion was Letitia's changing story. When she began describing Gannon's injuries during the interview, the details were noticeably different from what she had previously told her husband, Albert.
I was scared because my thought process was Albert is going to kill me. Because I made a mistake as a parent and forgot to really check him down. And he really got a little bit more burnt than he should have. So I was freaking out because it's he's going to kill me. And Gannon was like, it's okay. And there was blood. And he had on his arms. And as it was peeling, and I should have called.
What did he have blood at?
I should have called the hospital and just asked, I don't know enough about burns, but I should have called the hospital and just asked, I made a mistake.
During the interview, Letitia made a crucial mistake. She claimed that Gannon had said more than he should have, and also suggested that he was bleeding as a result of the burns, something she hadn't mentioned earlier to her husband, Albert. This directly contradicted her previous account and raised serious doubts. This slip-up didn't go unnoticed. Detectives began to suspect that the fire might not have been an accident after all. While they couldn't confirm that yet, there was one thing they were sure of. Letitia wasn't telling the truth. When someone is guilty, they often change their story in significant ways. In contrast, innocent individuals usually remain consistent. In Letitia's case, her version of events kept shifting, especially regarding how she reacted to the candle incident. One of those reactions was even recorded on her own phone. This inconsistency set off alarm bells for detectives. If she was willing to alter the details of a past event, there was a strong possibility she might also be lying about what really happened to Gannon. Investigators now believe she could be hiding even more critical information.
He goes in through the garage. I go in. I'm getting ready to put up the things, stuff like that. As we got inside, I heard something, but I didn't think anything about it because I thought, maybe Gannon was doing something. Maybe we were doing whatever. Mm-hmm. And the guy was in there, and I gave him the code.
The guy from the...
Yeah, it's all my fault because I gave him our code to fix the carpet.
Okay.
And I shouldn't have. And then when I walk downstairs, I hear something again. Well, at that point in time, Gannon was on the sofa, and I saw him, and I heard something again, and I walked on around, and he was standing in there. He had on gloves.
In the storage closet?
Yes.
Okay.
He had one of the guns, and then he just knocked me down and towards Gannon's room, and he was hitting on me. It was hard, on the ground. And he was trying to and I'm pleading and talking and all these things going on, just back and forth with him. And why are you doing this? Why did you hurt us? Why are you doing these things? And then he was on top of me again, and then I kind of lied out again because he hit my head again.
Oh, really?
And then and then he was he asked me to give him he just kept hitting me right there like that.
Okay.
And so then he did that, and then I blacked out again. I was having a panic attack. And then I don't know what happened from there. I really don't. I don't know. I just know that I did lie. I did. When they came, I did say, Gannon left, whatever. You know that. But he never did. He never left to go play. I just didn't know what to do, and I panicked at the moment. I didn't want Albert to be trying to hurt us because we kind of get a lot of fights.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just want that's the only reason that I made up the lie.
To verify Letitia's claim of being assaulted, officers offered a forensic exam by a trained nurse. Surprisingly, she refused. Even more suspicious, CCTV footage confirmed that no one entered or left the house after Letitia and Gannon returned home. It became clear her story wasn't adding up. Police handed the case over to the FBI, who then reviewed more surveillance footage. What they found was chilling. The morning after Gannon's disappearance, Letitia rented a Kia and left home around 8:30 a.m. On January 29th, she returned the car, with nearly 955 miles added. The implication was disturbing. Letitia had likely killed Gannon sometime after they got home and used the rental car the next day to dispose of his body. While investigators now had a clearer picture, many details remained unknown. That's why, on March 2nd, a month after Gannon vanished, federal agents called Letitia in for another interview, hoping to finally uncover the full truth.
Because of the nature of the warrant, it being a murder warrant, we need to know the real story because you put out quite a few different stories.
Put out to who?
We heard a lot of the stories to Al.
To Albert?
Mm-hmm.
The reason I already knew someone was listening to him, but because of him not ever being supportive, and I tried originally to talk to him when he first got there, that was the only reason I said those things to him, was just because I was out of anger and I was hurt and not being able to have support. It was nothing to do with me saying those things to him was just being what is the word you want to call it? Selfish or facetious or whatever you want to call it. I did have originally initial different thoughts on certain things, and that was me trying to basically read him and try to figure the situation out. So I understand that you may have heard those or whatever you may have heard, and that's okay because that totally was not.
In here I even have what you entered in your phone, the stuff that you've entered and deleted, blood is spurting from an arterial bleed, direct pressure not controlling.
What? I didn't look this up.
It's from your phone.
Blood is what?
Spurting from an arterial bleed.
No.
Somebody did from your phone. I don't like my stepson.
No.
I don't like my stepson. Should I get a divorce? I'll stalk cheating. I'll stalk Instagram. I'll stalk cheating in Colorado Springs. How to get blood out of sheets.
Out of sheets?
Mm-hmm. I want immunity.
Oh, the blood out of sheets was because we always had always nosebleeds. If I ever looked up blood out of sheets, it was nosebleeds.
And I figured it might be something.
I didn't ever look up anything about an artery or something unless it went from something else.
It's on your phone.
And I never looked up anything about my stepson unless someone else did.
The searches mentioned by investigators were just a few among 34 online searches Letitia made between January 25th and 28th, the exact days surrounding Gannon's disappearance. Strangely, she had an explanation ready for each and every one of them.
The reason I brought up gangs is you looked up, I want immunity because it was gang related. And this sounds like me. Find me a new husband, find me a rich guy who loves to take care of his kids.
The new husband is just because Albert already knew that was about the lady, Debbie Sherrill, who wanted to find a new husband after 35 or something. He picked me about Amazon.
A lot of these can have nothing to do with this.
It doesn't.
I get it. I'm doing all the work for my stepkids and their mom doesn't help.
Oh, that bothered me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame
Oh, yes, because I wanted them to be mine.
One day, some people will wish they treated you differently, which I get that. Parenting should be for people, not one. What a societal person might say. These make me very sad when I read them because I can see you're doing all the work at home by yourself.
Which I wanted to be there. I wanted to totally have the kids as my children. That's the point you're not getting. I wanted those kids to be saying to me that I'm their mom. Yeah. I'm the person who cares for them, loves them, everything.
Investigators found 12 deleted searches on Letitia's phone, many about leaving her husband. Despite their clear intent, she had excuses for all of them. To avoid maximum sentencing, Letitia might have been aiming for an offered plea, which allows a guilty plea while still claiming innocence. Detectives then shifted focus. Blood was discovered in her truck, Gannon's room, and on a cut-up carpet. Around 2 p.m. on January 27th, a doorbell cam captured dogs barking and what sounded like Gannon screaming. By 5 p.m., Letitia had her daughter buy cleaning supplies, likely to hide evidence. Officers now believe Gannon's body was hidden nearby, possibly in the garage or basement, just inches from where police searched. every location she guided officers to had traces of blood. Her anatomy searches suggest she targeted a major artery, causing heavy bleeding. The car was also backed fully into the driveway, likely to hide the blood inside. As detectives connected the dots, Letitia shifted from fake calm to clear desperation.
Why would I hurt our child? I had everything in the world. Why? I have no motive. None. Don't have the first motive. Everything I wanted in my life, I had it. Why? Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense a lot of the time what happens inside of a house.
And sir, I don't even know what you're talking about. All I can tell you is I did not hurt him.
Doesn't matter to me. With all the evidence that they have, the reason why it took so long is the district attorney wanted to wait and wait and wait till they made sure they could win in the courtroom.
Okay.
And I've done no body homicides before. They have more on this case than we do on most of them.
Okay, sir. But if you have what you need, why do you keep asking me?
Because our goal is to find Gannon. Our goal is not to prosecute you. That is the district attorney's job. We're investigators. And like you've just seen, I do a poor job about half the time because I have to guess. Because as much as we tried to track you with your cars and your phones and whatever else, there are gaps. We do have, like I told you, the blood in the house. We do have, do you know about the board that was thrown in the forest? Letitia?
Oh. What? I'm sorry, sir. What?
The board that has Gannon's blood on it that was thrown in the forest.
Okay. So all right, so what?
You got your DNA.
Faced with overwhelming evidence, most suspects eventually break under pressure. But Letitia did the opposite. She denied everything and, in doing so, unintentionally revealed even more incriminating details.
The blood that you or your team allow people to be in the house.
That has no bearing on this.
Okay, well, if it doesn't, then okay.
It doesn't.
Okay, so
Are you ready to tell me the last time you saw Gannon?
maybe check one of them. Because...
I bet you they can tell me the last time they saw Gannon, even though it was months before.
Your answer.
I bet Al can tell you the last time he saw Gannon, even though he didn't know that was going to be the last time. I guarantee you he's got an image of Gannon. You were the last one looking at Letitia.
Okay.
Letitia eventually admitted she was the last person to see Gannon, and during the interview, she revealed details about his injuries, the blood evidence, and possible motives, essentially turning the interrogation into a confession. Her actions stemmed from two major issues: resentment toward her husband Albert due to his National Guard duties, and jealousy of Gannon's biological mother, Landon. When Gannon wished his mom were there during the candle incident, it pushed Letitia over the edge. The next day, she took leave from work and murdered Gannon, trying to cover it up as an accident. With this evidence, there was no escape. 8 days later, she was arrested, and during her transfer to jail, driven by frustration and desperation, she attempted to flee custody.
She keeps threatening me.
Stop.
Well, she keeps threatening me.
Stop it.
Well, she keeps on threatening me. I have stopped it. She keeps on.
Well, she got out of the restraints.
She keeps on threatening me.
Put your arm down.
I will for you. She keeps
Put
threatening
your arm down. Put your arm
Put
down.
your arm
Well,
she
down.
keeps threatening me the whole time.
Tisha?
I will with you. I said I would
Then
with you.
give me your arm now.
Well, I said I would with you. I said I would with you. I said I would with you. I'm just asking to breathe. That's it. Is to breathe. That's all I want to do is breathe. You're hurting my arm.
My phone's jacking cold.
You're hurting my arm. You're hurting my arm.
Lisa,
I just
stop.
want my arm. It's hurting my arm. Just let my arm out.
Letitia complained of pain and discomfort, yet showed no remorse for the torture she inflicted on Gannon. His death was slow and agonizing. On March 17, 2020, 49 days later, His body was found in a suitcase under Escambia Bay Bridge, 1,300 miles from home. The autopsy revealed he was drugged with acetaminophen and hydrocodone, the latter stolen from his father's prescription. A gunshot to the jaw confirmed Letitia ended his life after prolonged suffering. Despite knowing all this, she denied involvement and even begged her husband to stop cooperating with police during trial.
I need to know something about my son. I need to know something about Gannon. Do you know if he's safe? Do you know, is he safe? Where is he at? Do you have anything?
And if I kill Gannon, really?
What about this? I'm trying to think of any way to cue the police to offer you immunity if they can, okay?
Because they'll try to incriminate me for this. I need immunity.
I think they give it to you because this is big that he was there and they missed it. Because then they're going to want to cover their shit for not fighting.
Despite Letitia's desperate pleas, Albert continued to support the investigation. On May 8, 2023, 3 years later, Letitia was found guilty and sentenced to life without parole, plus 156 years, the maximum allowed under Colorado law. If you found this video compelling, be sure to subscribe for more real crime stories. Thank you for watching.